This is my first vlog, and here we go. This is my TTC channel, and also just kind of my daily life and stuff like that, and things that happen. So I don't really even know where to start. So I guess I'll start with our TTC journey so far. Me and my husband got married in 2012. After a year of knowing each other, we met in college, and then we got married in June, and then in October we decided, you know, we don't want to wait anymore, let's stop birth control. So we did. I was so excited. I've always wanted to be a mom, and I was just ready, and I'm still ready. And so a few months passed, and we're like, it's gonna take some time, it'll happen when it happens. And then it turned into a half a year, a little over a half a year. I started to get a little concerned, and everyone's like, don't worry, it'll be fine, you'll be great. You're worrying about nothing. So I just kind of put it off, put it out of my mind, saying it'll be fine. And then a year passed, and I started getting really worried. And again, everyone's like, it took me 3 years, it took me 2 years, it took me a year and 2 months. You'll be fine, just relax, don't worry about it, don't think about it, all the advice that you get. And when you're first trying out, you're like, you take that advice to heart. But I knew something was wrong. And I have in my family history, my sister has PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and then my mom had some problems conceiving, and some fertility problems, so I knew that there might be a problem. But again, everyone was telling me I was overreacting, not to worry about it, so I didn't. And then 1 year turned into a year and a half, then a year and a half turned into 2 years, and I knew there was something wrong. So I finally got the courage up, and I went to the OBG. And as I suspected, I was diagnosed with PCOS and endometriosis. I was so heartbroken. Because I knew that there was a chance I would never be able to get pregnant, and I would never get to carry a baby. And it was really, really hard. So, but I have an amazing doctor, and he's like, don't worry about it. We'll just do what we need to do, get all of our ducks lined up in a row. So he started me on metformin, and I changed my diet because and as a lot of you with PCOS will know, it's really hard to lose weight. And that's what one of my problems was. I was very thin all through high school and college, and then all of a sudden I gained weight right after we got married. So he put me on metformin, and I started to lose weight, and I'm still losing weight. Yay! And hopefully that'll keep going. So after that, he started the metformin, and he says, if you don't get pregnant on the metformin, we need to see if you're ovulating. So we started OPKs, and I wasn't ovulating. So I go in the next cycle for a scan, and they said we found a uterine lesion and a couple polyps that we're gonna need to take out. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, while we're in there, my doctor's a robotic surgeon. He says, while we're in there, I wanna do a procedure. It's basically, you have your ovary, and your ovary's covered in these cysts. And so what we're going to do is take a tiny, tiny little drill, like microscopic drill, and we're going to drill holes all over your ovaries to help the eggs come out. I'm like, sounds like medieval torture, but okay, if you think it's gonna help. So we did that, and everything went great. I was feeling great. So we went to our checkup, and he's like, yeah, so all that stuff that was going on and having your fallopian tubes twisted. And I'm like, what? He said, your fallopian tubes were twisted. And I said, they were? He looks at Taylor, my husband, and goes, you didn't tell her? And he goes, I was just so worried I forgot. So apparently my fallopian tubes were twisted and there was a cyst growing on my fallopian tubes that made it so because your organs will actually right themselves, which I think is really cool, is that if they're out of place, they'll fix themselves. But the cyst was keeping it so it couldn't correct itself. And so he said that is, in my mind, the number one reason you're not getting pregnant. And now that we know all these problems, we can get it fixed. So after the first cycle, after my surgery, because my surgery was this last December, we had the surgery and then we had the cycle, and then two cycles. Then it was first cycle, second cycle, and on the second cycle we still weren't pregnant, so he had to start Clomid, and whew, that was interesting. And then that cycle failed. That round of Clomid failed, and so he did another round and we upped the dose and still nothing. And so we went back and he's like, okay, well, let's do another scan. And did a scan and he's like, we found another uterine lesion and a cyst that we're gonna have to remove. So it was crazy. Literally, I went in for my appointment on Monday, and on Tuesday morning I was in surgery. And sorry, I have to hold this because I don't have any of the equipment that I need yet, and so my arm's getting really tired. So we did that, and everything was fine. Oh my gosh, it was so much worse though. It hurt so bad. And you'd think that the robotic surgery would hurt because it was a lot. That was a major surgery. It took them an hour and a half for that one, and this one took them 20 minutes. I was in so much pain. It was horrible. But anyway, so I go in for my post-op appointment, and he's like, okay, well, we're on cycle day 5. Let's ready to get going. And I'm like, no, surgery day was cycle day 5. I didn't start Clomid till day 9. He's like, you didn't? I thought this week was cycle day 5. And I said, no, that's why I came in for my appointment, is because the Clomid didn't work the second round. He's like, oh, well, then we might have messed up your cycle this month. So that's probably why that you weren't able to get pregnant. Or you're not going to be able to get pregnant this next. You might not be able to. And I'm like, I was so upset. And I understand. He has lots of different patients. And also my doctor's amazing. My insurance doesn't cover infertility. And so he's been keeping it completely out of my charts. So that way my insurance will pay for it. And so he's like, he kind of just has to, I had to keep reminding him what I'm on, what we're doing. And so he's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. So, and I didn't think I was going to get pregnant anyway, because it was right after surgery. We had a ton of different stuff going on. And it was just I didn't feel it. So I'm like, it's fine. So we decided, so after that, now we're on our current cycle. And I just finished Clomid yesterday. And that was a really bad round. And the Clomid's been really weird. So I've done 4 rounds. The first round, I was expecting a lot worse, but I was so weepy. I cried over everything. Everything and anything, I would cry. And I didn't even have to be sad. I would just start crying. And it's my poor husband. Oh, he's such a saint. For putting up with all that. And so I'll cut that out. Anyway, so after that, so my first round of Clomid I was so weepy, tired, extremely tired, and I had really, really bad hot flashes. And then my second cycle, it actually wasn't as bad. I wasn't quite as weepy, but still weepy, but not quite as weepy. And the hot flashes I had too. But I started getting irritated a lot more. The third cycle of Clomid, oh my gosh, I was so angry all the time. everything set me off. I would drop something and just get so angry and throw it. It was bad. And then this cycle, I didn't have experience what I did with this one. It was so, like, I was in so bad of a depression. It was like deep in my soul. And I've never experienced that before. And like everything was exhausting and tiring, and I just couldn't function, and I was in pain, and it was miserable. And I'm like, I don't even know. And this channel's also about how my husband suffers from depression and bipolar, and also how we're training a service dog for him. And I'm like, I don't even know how to describe this, because I understand, and you don't have to explain it to me. And he was just so great through this last cycle, but I'm very glad the cycle's over. And then the hot flashes have been horrible. I'm still having really bad hot flashes from it, and I know that happens, so not too worried about that. But it was just, it's been a crazy ride so far. And so I decided to start vlogging because I watch a ton of different TTC channels and family channels, and I've just gotten so much hope and so much inspiration from the other channels I've seen. And so I want to give that to someone, and giving them the hope that you can still keep going. Like, just keep going. It's just, and I've seen everyone get BFPs, I've seen BFNs, and I felt when, like, and it sounds completely silly, but when like someone else gets a BFN right after I've got my BFN, it's like, oh, I know, and you're there, and you love them and support them because you know what they're going through, and they know what you're going through. Sorry, Penny, our service dog, is at the door, and she wants in really badly. So, and I'll be doing a vlog about her next week, because I'll be posting this tomorrow, because what I'm thinking is I will either film Monday, post Tuesday, or and it all depends on my work schedule. I'll figure that out when it gets a little closer, but definitely Friday will be the day I post about so the Monday earlier the week post will be my TTC vlogs, and then later in the week we'll be like talking about our life with having a husband with depression and how we deal with that, and also training a service dog. So I'll be doing a video on her. Like I said earlier, I'll be doing a video on Penny and how we decided to do a service dog, why we decided to do a service dog, and totally lost my train of thought, and how all that stuff works. So I'm really excited to start this journey. And just so you know, this will not normally be where I vlog. We are house sitting for my aunt, who is in Germany right now. So we've been house sitting for her for the last like 10 days. And I'd already been planning to do a vlog. And so the timing is right. And so I decided, instead of just waiting till we were back home, just do it now, and then you guys will get to see me back at my house. It's actually been really fun to house sit, because they have just a huge house, and we have our tiny little 500 square foot apartment, which we love and we adore. And so it's been really fun to have like a huge giant house and a lawn and everything like that. And Penny's just adored having a backyard, because we have to walk her every day because we don't have a backyard. But it's great fun, and I'm, again, really excited to start this adventure with you, and I wish all of you baby dust and lots of love. And for those struggling with depression, or who love someone with depression, know that you're not alone. And I think that is the most important thing to keep remembering. You're not alone, and someone out there loves you and understands you. So just, again, lots of baby dust, keep smiling, and I look forward to having this adventure with you guys. Thanks.